Hi Hersey Bulldogs. Today I wanted to show you on how you can solve problems that are asking for elapsed time. An elapsed time means something that's asking how long it takes to do something, or if you're given how long it takes to do something, finding then the start time or end time, depending on what is given on the problem. So today I wanted to go over a strategy you can use to solve problems that are asking for elapsed time. So to show that strategy, we're going to do a couple examples. So we're going to start with an example. So we have Jojo starts his math homework at 4:15 p.m. and finishes it at 5:10 p.m. How long does he take to do his homework? We know the start time is 4:15 p.m. and the end time is 5:10 p.m. So we have to now figure out how long it takes him to do the homework. So one strategy that I like to use is called a T-chart. So when you draw a T-chart, it looks like this. You draw one vertical line. Then at the top of your vertical line, we draw a horizontal line across. The horizontal line across will hold our title, which will hold our two times, so our start time and our end time. So on one side we write our start time, and one side we'll write our end time. So our start time is 4:15 and our end time is 5:10. And then over here we want to leave a little space on the right hand side of the chart because this is where we're going to count how long it takes to get between each time interval. Okay, so let's say we're starting at 4:15 p.m. So underneath we're going to write 4:15 here. Now we're going to start counting up in 5-minute intervals at first, and then you can start making bigger jumps when you get more comfortable with this strategy. So if we count up in 5-minute time intervals, we can count up to 4:20, which would then be, and then over here we would write 5 minutes. So this is how long it takes us to get from 4:15 to 4:20. Then we can keep going. So let's say I'm ready to make that jump and I want to start maybe going up to 10-minute intervals. So I go up to 4:30 because 4:20 to 4:30 is 10 minutes. And MINS is abbreviation for minutes. And then let's say we go 4:30 to 4:40, which is another 10 minutes. And we can keep going. So 4:50 to 5 p.m. Oh, we're almost at our time because our time is 5:10. And we are at 5 o'clock. So this should only take a couple more times. 5 p.m. to 5:10, which is, guess what? 10 minutes, and we've reached our final time. So now that we've gotten we've counted in intervals up to 5:10, we can add these times all up. So we've reached our final time, which is 5:10. So now we're going to add up these times. Okay? 5:10, 5 minutes, plus 10 minutes, plus 10 minutes, plus 10 minutes, plus 10 minutes. Okay? So we can do it like this. 10 plus 10 plus 10. We have 4 10s and 1 5. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5, so we only have a 5 here because it's plus 0. Then we have 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4, so 45. So the elapsed time, or how long it took for Jojo to do his homework, was 45 minutes. And that is our answer. And it's always important to include what we call our unit. So our unit is minutes. If we were counting in hours, we would have hours. If we were counting in minutes and hours, we would have to say which has how many hours and which is the minutes. Okay? So let's try another one together. And we're going to do the second problem. Catherine starts her bike ride at 10:07 a.m. and finishes biking at 12:24 p.m. How long does she bike for? Okay, so we're going to make our T-chart. Okay, so she starts at 10:07 a.m. So remember, we write our start time on the left-hand side and our end time on the right-hand side of our T-chart. Now we're going to put our start time in the left-hand side underneath the header, 10:07, or 10:07. So now we're going to list So now if we want to count it by fives, we can do that, but this is a little bit difficult. So maybe we want to get our number to a number that ends in 0 or 5. So see how this time ends in a 7? So maybe we want to start at 10:20, which make our counting easier. Okay? So let's say 10:07 to 10:20. Now, all we have to do is figure out how long it takes to get from 10:07 to 10:20, counting up from 7 to 20. So that is 13 minutes. Okay, so now this might make our counting a little bit easier. If we look at our end time, our end time is also in the 20s and says 12:24. So something that would be really useful is maybe counting up by another hour so that we're not counting up by individual minutes, because that may take a long time to count up by minutes to get to our end point. So if we do 10:20 over here on our left side, an hour added to 10:20 is, guess what? 11:20. So on this side, we can write 1 hour, which we also know is equivalent or the same as 60 minutes, right? So now we can go back over to our other side and we can start at 11:20. Now you can count it by minutes from 11:20 if you want, but guess what? We could just add another hour to get us up to 12:20, because that's much easier than counting by minutes. And then we add another hour, which is also 60 minutes. Okay, so now all we have to do is make it from 12:20 to 12:24, which we know we can easily do is count up from 20 to 24, which is 4 minutes. So since we have a mix of hours and minutes, it might be good to first start with our biggest time measurement. So our biggest time measurement is hours. So let's add up our hours first. So 1 hour plus 1 hour equals 2 hours. So, good. We've done 1 hour plus 1 hour. So now all we have to do is figure out how much is 4 minutes plus 13 minutes. So 13 plus 4 is 17. So our total time, if we combine, is 2 hours and 17 minutes. Our answer is 2 hours and 17 minutes. Let's try one more problem. Sammy has a swimming lesson that takes 1 hour and 15 minutes. Her lesson begins at 2:45. What time will her lesson end, or will the lesson end? So we can still use a T-chart to solve this problem. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my T-chart out. But this time it's not asking for how long it takes, it's asking for the end time. So here we have the start time we can write down, but we don't know the end time, so I'm going to put a question mark. So if our start time is 2:45, we can still use our t-chart to figure out the end time. We just won't be looking for the difference. We're just going to be counting up 1 hour and 15 minutes. So let's see. So on the one side, we're going to write 2:45. Now, let's say we add an hour to 2:45. So 2:45 plus 1 hour is now 3:45. So we've added our hour of the 1 hour and 15 minutes. Now we go up from 3:45 to, we can add 10 minutes, or we can easily figure out what 15 minutes is, because it's just 10 plus another 5 minutes. So 3:45 plus 10 minutes is 3:55, plus another 5 minutes is now 4 o'clock. So we now know that our end time is 4 o'clock, or 4 p.m. That is our answer. So that's how you can use the t-chart to solve if it's looking for the start time or end time. All right. Thanks for watching Hersey Bulldogs. I hope you have a great rest of your day.